Hi, if we didn't get a chance to meet, my name is Chelsea Castonguay. I'm a curriculum developer with MCCA, which is the acronym for Maine College and Career Access. Can never remember it, so I had to write it down. When I started this program, I felt like I was a little bit outside of everything, and I was relatively removed from the world of education because I've primarily worked in higher education, in residential services, in career development, with non-traditional students. So I got put in the strand with elementary ed folks primarily, and I realized really quickly that I had a lot to learn, and I'm used to talking and I'm used to contributing, but over the past 3 days I've kind of just sat back and watched and listened and learned, which has been tough for me as a talker, but also I think really good and informational for me as well. The other thing I wanted to add, regarding kind of where I had been and where I'd started from, was that the education that I've engaged in personally and professionally has really been about survival, about getting your degree and getting out and getting into the workforce. So I'd kind of forgotten that education could be joyful. And then I didn't really use a lot of tech in my education services before this, pretty basic stuff like your Gmail, your Google, that kind of thing. So having been seeing all your amazing educators and what you're doing with your classes, even with really young students, it made me really excited for what I could start incorporating with older learners. And I'm just excited to start utilizing it in my own life as well. Here's what I learned. It seems to me like educators are really facing one of the greatest challenges that's happened in modern history that we can remember in regards to how we interact with students and what we're doing in the classroom. There's a lot of scary unknowns. My husband works at the university and he's returning to campus, and to be perfectly blunt, I don't have a lot of confidence in the university's safety plan for staff and for students. But the group that I met this weekend, everyone's really rising to the occasion. And there's a lot of grace and enthusiasm facing these unknowns, and I found that to be really, really inspiring and hopeful in a lot of ways. I found that there's a lot of, hope and optimism for the upcoming semester, and that teachers are really determined to make the best out of this and to do what's best for their students. And the clear love and passion that so many educators have for working with the populations that they do is also, I know I probably would use this phrase, but really inspiring for me, and a good reminder of why we're doing this and why so many people are willing to go back to school, even under these conditions. So I really applaud you all, and I'm grateful I got a chance to chat with you and learn from you throughout the weekend. So thank you. Kind of excited about this scene because Monsters Inc. is one of my favorite Disney movies, so this is a cute little discovery. So from this program, I took away a ton of great resources that can be related to my work with college transitions. And I've spent the last couple days really thinking about how to make information widely available and easily digestible for students, particularly the non-traditional students, many of whom are balancing a whole lot. They've got jobs, they've got work, they maybe have already tried to go to college and it didn't work out. I've got kids. There's just a whole lot going on. And I think that a lot of what I found over this will be able to be easily transferable over to those students. I'm really excited to delve into Google Classroom, explore that a little bit more. I'm really liking clips, so huge shout out to Angie for showing our strand that. This has been a fun little adventure, and I think I'll be able to use it. And I've been thinking, I've got a whole running list of different things that I'd like to utilize here for tech. Continuing to be comfortable with tech. I'm pretty comfortable with Facebook and some other, like Snapchat, Instagram, that are pretty basic, but I really want to start using some of these really cool apps that we discovered. AR is so fascinating. I feel silly admitting I didn't even really know that was a thing, but I think it's something I can utilize with my students. And then I thought a lot today too about assessment and how we're assessing students and what's our measure of success going forward, especially in the pandemic, and also on a more individual level, which I think gives students a better tie-in to their own education and more accountability if they feel like they're being fairly assessed and they feel like they're being understood and heard. So I'm excited to utilize that with my non-traditional learners. I'm going to think a minute and see if I have anything else to add, but that might be about it. Like everyone else, I am totally computer fried, so having a hard time like really wrapping my thoughts all up in this together. So let me look and maybe I'll add something else. I'm really looking forward to being part of the EDS program at UMaine, and developing and maintaining some further connections with some of the folks that I met. And thank you so much for your time, and thank you for checking this out. If you have any suggestions or feedback for me, I'd love to hear it. And until then, everybody stay safe and good luck this fall. Take care.